Part 2 of why the Pelicans own the Bucks. Jared has joined the show. Henri, the intern, unfortunately turned off the button. So it's okay.
Justin, hold on, Justin, bro. Come on now.
That was a hell of a title you gave him, man. Damn.
God, yeah.
Said I had a big forehead. Deal with it. So, Chris,
what the fuck happened in part 1?
Hey, Jared, once again, you missed a crazy first 15 minutes. So, smash like button. Chris, so we left off with the pick swap the Pelicans own, right? So, the New Orleans Pelicans own the right swap to Milwaukee's 2026 first round draft pick, right? Dumars has to realize now, right, with Dame out for the year, a lot of chatter around Giannis. What are the Bucks going to do? You know, the one thing that we had a problem with David Griffin was holding on to, I guess, assets too long to where they just dematerialized like throughout, and they just weren't very. He just didn't know when to strike when the iron was hot.
He was an ass man.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think? Where do you think Joe Dumars is with this pick here? Like, do you think he'll make a move this offseason, this draft, or will he wait until the right time to strike?
I mean, we listen. We talked about this, and when we talked about the Joe Dumars press conference, if you're getting the Joe Dumars of old, which is a 60-plus-year-old man, today you're talking about someone who is aggressive for better or for worse. So, I mean, I would assume, like, I'm looking around, bro. I don't think any team is in a worse situation going forward right now than Milwaukee. Between the money that's tied up, Dame's injury, the guys like Kyle Kuzma, you don't really have any young talent to really invest into. And Giannis, you spending all that money. You got impending free agents, and you're in Milwaukee, so you don't have a market to kind of make up for what you are going to be missing going forward. So, knowing that the Pelicans, like, they know the situation already, so you go ahead and be the one that forces the issue. You set the pace in this situation. You set the market. You start everything off. You make the call to Milwaukee, like, I got your shit. You want it? I got it. Which, like, I mean,
how much your future worth to you?
Yeah, like, what it means to you, what it's about, So that's what I would do,
Okay.
But if you don't want to go that route, Milwaukee isn't the only, like, you could take Milwaukee shit and sell it anywhere else if you want to, those.
Can I cut you off there real quick, Chris? Where do you think it'd be more valuable to propose it back to Milwaukee or to go to another team?
Well, I mean,
because you're thinking about it, right? Milwaukee's got.
It could go either way, because maybe there's another team that thinks Milwaukee's gonna do worse than Milwaukee thinks that they're gonna do. Like, Milwaukee might be desperate to get their own shit back, but if the price is too high to, they'd be like, "Fuck it, you keep it. I don't want it. I ain't paying that much for it. It ain't worth that much. Price too high." So you go ahead and hit up. I'm just throwing a team out there, random team. Let's say Miami, and Miami's like, shit, I think they're gonna be the worst team in basketball over the next couple of years. Fuck it, what you want? You want who? Where? What? Let's do it. And then the Eastern Conference? Oh, no brainer. So the Pelicans have more leverage, I think, going forward. And it's fucked up that it had to happen this way. It kind of happened back to back between the way the season is, between the way Dame gets hurt, the way this shit Giannis, the Giannis shit is unfolding. Kyle Kuzma's unplayable, Brook Lopez unplayable. The list goes on and on. So yeah, man. I mean, the Pelicans have the leverage, I think, to be the aggressor. And if I were them for once, they should be the one to punch first. Don't wait for the reports to come out on Giannis. Don't wait for other teams to make a move. You be the ones to move first.
Jared, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think Chris is right here, man. You gotta call the girl first. You gotta call her first. You can't wait for her to approach you, and then you have all the leverage. You can be like, all right, Milwaukee, listen, I got what you want already. I got your stuff. Cool. Now I'm making the first offer to you. Now, if you say no, don't get mad that when I go holler at these other women, you know what I mean? Like, I'm giving you the game first. Like now, the second time this go around, the price of the brick gonna rise. So you might as well get here on the entry level. This pyramid scheme, get here, entry level, right? We can do this now because later, right? Later. Now, later. That's how that shit go.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah.
I also think shout out to the guy. Shout out to the guy before he said, I doubt Milwaukee will tank if they don't get their picks back, but they don't have to tank. Like, truthfully, Milwaukee, you're talking about another Giannis a year older, without Dame at all this entire, like, moving forward this season. No Brook Lopez, potentially no Bobby Portis, no avenues to really improve the team. They ain't gotta tank. Like, this team, I mean, I went and looked. I feel bad for even doing this, but I went and looked. I'm like, Giannis is like a first round elimination most of his career. So that should really tell you that, like, Giannis is more of a regular season player. So if the regular season, if his unit isn't intact for the regular season, then what you gonna do? Like, you have to move him if you're Milwaukee, because his value is only going to deteriorate more and more and more and more. This is peak Giannis, I think. You muted, Chris. Oh, hey, Justin, this is peak Giannis, in my opinion. Go ahead.
No, Justin, what does this mean?
Joe ain't pee like that.
Put that together. Like what's the context clues in there? Like, if you had to break that down, like, what that mean to you?
This is go ahead.
What does P mean? Just for shits and giggles. Let's just go with that. Don't worry about the other 4 words.
So that's what I'm trying to go with. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Joe ain't pee like that. Yeah. See, this is what I don't understand. Just say the word that you want to fucking say. What the fuck does this mean?
He is saying the word. He is. That's the thing, Joe. I mean,
Joe ain't pussy like that. Like, what is it?
The word you're looking for is player.
Joe ain't player like that.
Joe ain't player like player. Popcorn player. Like,
but what was it? What was that? What was
Joe ain't
you would have
like
to get
that,
the reference. You would understand movies, right? You would have to get the reference to understand that one.
Lito, I'll take that. That's fine. That's all right. So that's good. I got you, Lito.
I looked this up before.
I got that one.
My bad, y'all. So I looked this up before, right? Because I knew I would get some pushback when I say Giannis is a regular season player. So I got all this stuff already prepared. So let's just say Giannis started in 2017, around that time. That sound about right?
His run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just give him. No, what? Let's give him 2017. All right. First round elimination. 2018, first round elimination. 2019, lost the Eastern Conference Finals. 2020, lost the Eastern Conference Semifinals. 2021, Kyrie gets hurt. They're down 2 games to nothing. They're down 20 points. Kyrie gets hurt. James Harden gets hurt. Spencer Dinwiddie is hurt. They go on to beat the Nets, and of course they win the NBA Finals. Fast forward, 2022, lost the Eastern Conference Semifinals. 2023, first round. 2024, first round. 2025, first round. What the fuck are you talking about? This, like, I'm like, the writing is on the wall. And in this case, people are going to say, oh, them teams wasn't that good. Got you right there. So let's talk about Chris Middleton and his playoff career. Let's start 2017, 24 points a game. 2018, 16 points. 2020, 20 points. 2021, 23 points. 22, 14, 23, 23, 24, 23, 24, 25 points. I can go through all these players, like Damian Lillard the past 2 years. Well, not this year, but last year, 2023. Damian Lillard averaged 31 points in the playoffs. Giannis didn't have bad teams. Them other teams just know how to deal with Giannis because you can't keep trading 2s for 3s. That's just the NBA. Like, you just can't do it.
But
Let me ask you. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. No, Lito, go ahead.
No, I want to ask you this. Because the last part of the sentence of the statement, you can't keep trading twos for threes. When you think about this team, you got to play on this team that's primarily a guy who takes twos, takes and makes twos, and I don't know how you quantify. He doesn't. The playoff, he has no playoff experience. Obviously, Giannis has had a 50 burger in the finals in a game 7, right? Comparatively, how would you say that Zion could be more impactful or be impactful as Giannis would be?
I think it's twofold, right? I think Zion could be as impactful as like maybe to a lower degree. One, because we haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna just say that he can do what Giannis has done over his career outside of losing in the first round that many times. But also, I think the game changes in the playoffs. That's like one of the bigger points, right? Like this is a different game we're playing they are playing in the playoffs compared to the regular season. That's why Giannis looks so well during the regular season, because it's just open floor. You're just running and gunning. You can't do that in the playoffs. I mean, we saw a game maybe a couple nights ago where both teams didn't score 100 points or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening.
It was like that much of the Pacers in Bucks game.
Exactly. Like, it's not happening anymore. Yeah. Like, it's a slower game. You got to be more strategic about how you approach things. And to be honest, Doc ain't Doc. Like, Doc ain't what he was in Boston, and he hasn't been. To be honest, I give him too much credit for that. Bud wasn't really Bud. Like, if Kyrie doesn't get hurt, like, he was about to get fired. Like, most people don't even think of, like, he was.
They still wanted to fire him even though he won.
Yeah, he still ultimately ended up getting fired.
Yeah. And that was probably from Giannis. But that's what I'm just saying. Like, we like to revisit these things. Like, we got to think about, like, it's a totally different game. Giannis is a really good player, Hall of Famer, but in the playoffs, things shrink. And if you can't handle that, then that's your true problem.
I was just gonna say to the Doc Rivers point, I'm not even giving Boston to him, bro. Like, I'm not giving him credit for that shit, because Doc was the first coach I ever seen that I remember watching basketball. Shout out to Tracy McGrady, Justin, being up 3-1 in a series in Orlando against Milwaukee. And, like, oh my god, he shit the bed so many times. I've never seen a coach be up 3-1 in so many series and find a way.
That's what Doc does.
No one gives Doc credit for winning the first 3 games of the series, right? Like, I saw someone say, like, no one gave Doc credit for being up 7 with 43 seconds left. They only give you
credit when you lose.
Yeah.
Do y'all blame that on him? Like
no.
This past
I will say this, Jarrett. I will say this.
Okay.
In that whole scenario, do y'all remember Milwaukee? I think when they tried to inbound, it was the possession before Gary Trent dropped the ball and went out of bounds. He didn't call a timeout right away to advance the ball, and I'm like, this dude's still doing the same shit. And he's a 20-year vet. Like, how do you not know instantly? Buckets made, boom, timeout, go side.
I don't think they had a timeout, right?
Yes, they did, because they were about to get a 5-second call. And he's like, oh, timeout. And they're like, what a great call by Doc. It's like, no, it wasn't. He still sucks.
But I guess because Giannis did that crazy ass fadeaway jumper Well, he called the timeout. They advanced to half court, and then that's when pandemonium turned it over.
Gary turned it over, and then Tyrese.
And that's another thing. And I'm not trying to pile on Giannis at all, but to Lito's like comparison, I don't think that LeBron was going through a weak East, and he's also top 5 player all time, undoubtedly, right? So he was able to put that team on his back and carry them throughout the East. But that's just not the reality we live in anymore, right? So even as compared to Zion, I don't see Zion as this number one that if you have championship goals. I think he's another person that needs a lot of help in surrounding like players to maximize him. You need a good coach. Like Giannis had about 6 coaches.
Yeah.
He had like Kid, Bud, Rivers, the dude they fired before Rivers, like Giannis got buku coaches. So, and it's like with him, and Chris pointed this out before, every time Giannis has a problem, though, they accommodate him because he's that great of a player. So he's worthy of that, whereas Zion, not so much at this stage in his career. But I think with players like that, even with Ja, any player that the Pelicans can realistically get is going to have a lot of shortcomings because otherwise you wouldn't really be able to get him.
You keep, and like you keep saying that, Chaz, and that's like absolutely true. But you know, Chris, I wanted to bring this question back to you. You talked about, you know, acting first. Well, how could you about the pick with the 2026 swap? Because I think that's gonna be your most valuable swap pick, right? How can you act first and not knowing what's going to happen with Giannis? Like, are you just going to gamble and be like, I know Giannis is going to request this trade here. I want to get out ahead of it. Now it's gonna be a little bit of a gamble, but do you think Joe's thinking like that, or do you think he's like, no, let me wait for the Giannis trade request? And if he does wait, does that devalue the asset a little bit?
Oh man. I mean, yeah, because I mean, here's the thing. Like, I can't imagine that. I mean, what's really? Let me ask you this, Justin. Do you believe that Giannis will see another year, another full calendar year in Milwaukee?
No, I don't. Because if they're going to meet and they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to, like, he wants to win a championship. There is no window for Milwaukee to get better this offseason without trading.
Right. So, like, you know it's on the way. It's already been speculated. It's what people are talking about in league circles. Right. What everyone is anticipating, whether it's something that is widely announced or it's something that they do on the quiet side and helping him find his next place. But the thing is that the thing about this asset and the things that the Pelicans are, the place that the Pelicans are at, whenever it is announced, that becomes those next upcoming picks become some of the best assets in basketball to have. So, like, immediately, as soon as that news is announced, no matter if it happens before or after you make the trade, that asset goes all the way up. And it may be, and the Pelicans might not even have to be the team to make the call. Somebody's going to call them about, you know what, let me get ahead of this now. It's like, to me, it's just like anything. I mean, it's any scandal, any good press, bad press, people always want to get ahead of it. So I don't think that this should be any different. Or, I mean, even Justin, if you're not in a situation where you're going to make something happen, you at least do your research. You're at least making calls and having conversations now. You're having those conversations before, during the summer league where you're going to sit down with some of these people. Man, shout out to Authentic with the 10. Cole.
Appreciate you, big dog. Support the troops. Shout out to him and Malik, man. Appreciate both of y'all.
Cool, bro. Come on, bro.
Let me check. Corey, did you get one? Let me check.
Come on,
damn.
Come on.
Crazy.
I don't understand. Like, I don't get it.
Hey, I wouldn't gamble with Corey to save my life. I would put no money on you, though.
But let me ask y'all something. For
Chaz, can I just before you answer this question, Doc Rivers playoff records. Shout out Henry. Doc Rivers playoff record is 114 and 112, and he's blown a 3-1 lead 3 times and blown a 3-2 lead 3 times.
Boy, that's going to show you, boy.
Shout out to you, Henry.
Relationships is everything, though.
It really is, bro. I can't believe he's been in 226 plays. That's a lot of fucking plays.
Relationships, everything.
Chaz, before you go, I was going to say to Chris's point, I wouldn't be surprised if people haven't called already. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't heard anything, but I really wouldn't be surprised. And I don't know if we shouting out David Griffin or whatever. But this is what picks are, right? It's like stocks. They fluctuate, right? It's very volatile. What in a position where we thought like the Pelicans should have sold, they held, the pick deteriorated, and now the value is rising again. I mean, that's just the game, right? It's like when to fold and when to hold. That's kind of the game that we're playing. But I think this time is the time, right? Like like Giannis, superstar, leaving Milwaukee. They're going to suck. Dame injured, Achilles is done for a year. This is as good as it gets. right? And if you don't see that moving forward, I think this would probably be Joe's easiest move to make, but he just has to make it the right move, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's perfect, because that leads directly into the question I was going to pose to you guys. Because to me, with all of the options available, again, by themselves, you kind of just reshuffling, chairs on the Titanic. So what's the least, like, you really are, because again, if I trade Zion for Ja, I'm like, all right, like he don't play neither. At least with both of them, I can be like, well, fuck. At least if this don't work out, I just ain't meant to have nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? But even with Ja, I'm like, if it does work out, all right, then what? Like, I've seen the best version of this working out with a better team. Because I think we all forget. Shout out to Trey Murphy, who's doing great in his rehab, and shout out to DeJounte. I hope everything going well with him. But I'm like, cuz, like, everybody hurt. DeJounte is hurt. Like, you're not gonna see the real DeJounte for quite some time. We see how Trey has been kind of slow out of the gates when returning from injury. I don't know what the fuck going on with Herb. It's like, son, you need a major influx of talent. So if you couldn't land I guess my question is more so, what's the worst return you'd be willing to accept for those 2 picks? Because to me, it's like, if I said this to Justin before, you can't tank if you're the Pelicans, because that offsets you getting the Bucks pick, because it's a swap. It's not like an additional pick.
Right.
So you have to play well, or at least better than them. So what's the worst return you take? And I'm gonna follow it up with another question.
Like, you're talking like player wise, like,
are you taking? Chris proposed Laurie. Are you taking Laurie for the Bucks picks?
no.
Anybody?
No.
I got to go big game hunting first, right? And if I land on Laurie, cool. But that's not like my first option. But you're asking what's the worst?
Mm-hmm.
That might be the worst.
Yeah.
For me, like, that might be the floor.
Agreed.
I think it's like, this pick is super valuable at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think
you think of teams. Sorry, Jay. I mean, because I'm trying to think of teams that could technically, like, need draft picks. Like, I think Philly, right? I think of like teams of like that are not going to be good next year and going to need this pick here. Like, I'm just trying to think of a team.
Prospect said LaMelo.
Well, and Justin.
No, not LaMelo.
How about this? Something else.
Booker.
Right?
Worst though.
We were doing.
The worst.
When we were doing a draft breakdown yesterday, like, people were really. I mentioned how, like, highly praised this next upcoming draft is supposed to be. Now, who knows how that, if that is necessarily a thing. No, I understand that, but I'm saying the anticipation of that with the type of prospects that are coming out, like, teams get thirsty. They may fall, but once again, you got players, you got guys that are thinking about that already, and whether they're wrong, that's part of dealing with this stock, right? A year later, when we're having this conversation again, you either bailed out right and you ended up getting exactly what you thought you were gonna get on a return, or you didn't.
Yeah, Chad. Sorry, I now understand your question a little bit better. Yeah, Laurie would be the worst, but like, I'm thinking like big game hunting. Like, that's what I was talking about, Jared. Like, I'm thinking big game hunting. Like, I know the Suns keep saying they're going to hold on to Devin Booker and, they want to, extend him and things like that. But I think Philly, I think Maxy, I think Suns, I'm talking about best, like, highest.
Yeah. I think Philly's a really good one. Now here's the question.
Is Boston out of that? Are the Celtics out of that question?
Yeah, they out of that, because I don't. The fuck I'm gonna do with Drew at this point? Like, because that's really.
I'm saying Drew. I'm talking like, why couldn't you get Jalen with it?
That's too much money.
Too much money.
That's why I say the money got to be in between like 39 to 40, 45 million, because I still got to bid out the rest of the team, right? But here's the kicker though. The Pelicans are in a great position, like Chris said. They go on the offensive and they're aggressive. You can facilitate. You don't have to get a star with the Giannis picks. You can facilitate a trade and get like assets from another team that round out the team. But you still got the Pelicans owning all their own first and the Bucks pick and that Indiana pick. They can do a lot of things in this offseason. They got just enough salary. So here's the real question. If you get the number 2 pick and the Bucks like, all right, look, fuck it. We'll take DeJounte back, but we want your number 2 pick. But hold on, 5. Now, the number 2 pick, though, trading that pick could be the yes or no to you getting a Maxey or Ja Morant in return. Like the whole deal falls apart if you can't move DeJounte for that number 2 pick. Would y'all do it?
So are you saying like in another move, an additional move, the number 2 pick would have been used to get the Maxey or another pick? Are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like
I'm using this to move DeJounte.
Yeah, I'm moving
separately,
DeJounte.
And then I gotta facilitate another deal to try to get Maxey using the Bucks pick. Hopefully.
No, well, it's like, all right, let's say you got a deal.
Is it a 3-team? Is it a 3-team?
Yeah, it's a 3-team deal.
Okay.
So
all in
it's
one.
a 3-team.
Yeah, all in one.
So where like you get a Ja or you get a Maxey in return, do I get a pick with that? Do I still get a first round pick with that?
You don't get a motherfucking thing.
Man,
You getting the talent. How much you want?
I want it all.
Maxey.
Pause. I want it all. It doesn't matter, Chris. Yo,
Shit.
my bad.
Shit.
Sorry.
It ain't just Alexis. It ain't just
Number
for
2,
Maxey.
DeJounte.
It's also to move DeJounte. Now that's the thing that kind of to me pushes it over the edge.
So I'm guessing that who gets the Bucks pick? I guess that really wouldn't matter to us.
Yeah,
right?
let's just say you giving them number 2. I'm gonna try to clarify a little bit. Let's say you give them number 2 and their 2 picks back. That's a lot you giving them motherfuckers, honestly. And they sending. Yeah. I'm just using hypothetically though. They sending Giannis to Philly, and you get Maxey back. Because none of y'all really got no talent to the point where you could get Giannis on your own or the picks on your own. But let's just say that's the deal, hypothetically.
I would. And if I got Maxey, yeah, I'd do it. And this is just another incident of the Pelicans having to send out value to move another player. That shit just continues to happen. And I'm not saying this is Joe's fault at all. Like, right, this didn't happen on your watch, but this is something you are continue. Hopefully, this isn't something that we'll continue to do in the future. It's gonna probably happen now because of the injuries, but god damn, like at some point that shit gotta stop.
Lito,
I'm sorry. One more time. My sound kept going in and out.
That's all good. My shit acting crazy too. But let's just this hypothetical. If Philly like, all right, look, you got the number 2 pick. Right? No, number 2 too tantalizing. Let's make it number 3. Right? Let's just make it number 3. So you got the number 3 pick, right? And they like, and the Bucks like, all right, look, give us DeJounte, but we want your number 3 pick too. In addition to our picks back. So you giving them 3 first, you get Maxey, and Philly gets Giannis. This is totally hypothetical.
What's DeJounte contract?
It's like 30-something million.
You're freeing up a lot. And I'm guessing what's Maxey's contract?
I think Maxey on the Zion contract, or maybe a little bit more, because he got cheated out of all NBA, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me see. Hold on. I need to see.
Tyrese Maxey's 5 years, $203 million, which is
what's the year by year? You know,
so 35, 37, 40,
oh,
43.
That's a sweet deal. Ooh, I'm doing that.
That contract's gonna be so valuable right when he's hitting. I mean, look, he's not even he's 24 now. He's about to like literally hit his prime. Like, dude, that contract.
And I've seen this man in the playoffs already. Nah,
Maxey. So Henri DeJounte Murray is currently under a 4-year contract extension in July 2023, valued at $120.5 million.
So he making 31 next year, 33, 26, 31, and 27.
I see a lot of no's in the chat. I don't know.
It's about for Maxey.
Maxey Cole, y'all.
Guys.
I ain't gonna lie.
But see, it ain't just Maxey. To me, you getting rid of a whole lot of salary.
Yeah.
And you still have the Bucks swap. As Chris.
The Bucks get their own picks back. And you giving them number 2. Like, because this fuck what I think. Giannis is a top 5 player in the NBA. Like, so somebody going, you gonna have to pay the piper. And with and you still got CJ you can move. You still got other avenues to move. But if you're the Pelicans again, just adding Maxy alone, don't do it. You still gonna have to move CJ and get more like bench talent in second unit. You got to fill out the latter half of this roster. You still need a center. So you got willing and dealing to do.
Hey, listen to me. I was big on Tyrese Maxey coming out of the draft, and I was like, his ability to get to the rim and his improved ability to shoot the ball, he has no holes offensively, in my opinion. He has no holes. He can dribble the ball. He doesn't turn the ball over. He can pass. He can shoot. He can take over a game. He scored 50 points. There's no holes offensively. I don't think he's a liability on defense. I think he's probably the fastest guy in the NBA now, currently. I'd put him faster than De'Aaron Fox at this current juncture in his career. Yeah, I'd do that in a heartbeat because at least I get an exciting product and a player that plays. It's
funny. I was just looking at that, Jared. So he's played 61 his rookie year, then 75, 60, 70, and then he had the injury this year with 52.
Because he kind of was
Chaz, so you're saying
this year.
Chaz, let me get this straight. You're giving up number 2, DeJounte,
number 3,
or whatever. Number 3, DeJounte, and that Buck swap. Giannis goes to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Philly gives you Maxy back.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that I can't get another first round pick out of that? I can't.
From who?
I can't.
Who would you get it from in that regard?
What's
maybe
Philly
from
got?
Philly, maybe.
What's Philly got? Philly, yeah. What is?
Yeah, I'm saying, but if Philly, I mean, if they got their own picks, but you trade,
I just think you're giving up
NBA
way too.
caliber
I
player.
know, but like, no, I get it, but like you, I mean, Chris Lillard just said it might be one of the most valuable picks. Currently
the Bucks
right now.
picks.
Yeah,
but I think the hang up. But see, here's the thing, though. The Bucks also, they don't have to agree with you. Like, they don't have to trade Giannis. So if they want to be difficult, they can say, well, fuck it. If I don't get what I want, I'll just keep this motherfucker and kick can. Giannis still got another year or two on contract. So they got not just as much leverage, but they got leverage too in this situation. If you could, let me put some names on it, right? Because it's a lottery, because you don't know where that pick is going to end up ultimately, right? And it's only top 4, but the 27 pick is only top 4 protected. It's not universally protected. So you can.
I'm just laughing because Henri, of course, just said the 76ers first round pick is owed to OKC with protections for selections 1 through 6. Of course, OKC has it.
Yeah, so it's like you getting an all NBA player, in my opinion. Like, so if I could get an all NBA guy, you only giving up 3 picks, VJ Edgecombe and 2 other picks.
Hey, dog, this is just another example of motherfuckers getting greedy. Just take the money,
take the money and
run.
Just take the money and run.
Like, I'm just saying, bro. That's kind of what happens. Like, people want just a little bit more. Hey,
Jared,
bro,
what's that shirt you got on? Can we get? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Soul running, man.
Nice.
Shout out to Soul Running.
Shout out to Soul Running.
Because realistically, we got to think too. It's like,
why the fuck can't I hear shit?
You can't hear us, Chris? We can hear you.
We can definitely hear you.
But you gotta, maybe his headphones might be dead. But also, you gotta think, Philly is one of the only teams that could realistically be trying to, they gotta either go all in or they gotta blow this team up to smithereens. Like, at this point.
And who knows when Embiid's return? Like, still, like, they don't know Embiid's future. There's going to be so much to happen this offseason, man. With big names and trade requests. And I think we're at like 45, 50 minutes. You want to say one more thing, Jared?
Yeah, just one thing. Like, if Joel Embiid retires, is that money, like,
he can do like a medical, right? Can you do a medical retirement?
What does that do to their salary cap, right? Like,
I think it don't count against it no more.
I think it's just like, I think like you can do like a man. I think
it's like an amnesty almost.
Jared, I think actually someone came out with like an article on that. Like, he could technically do like a medical retirement, and the Sixers would like. I think almost think like the 76ers can push this to be like, we need you to retire medically, and so it clears the books.
Yeah, they might be kind of like, yo, bro, we need you to chill.
Yeah,
like for real.
Which is crazy to think about.
I just think about like, what if he like, I want to come back and play. Like they can't just be like, okay, the money.
They can't go him.
Yeah. And Embiid, yeah. So all right, that's the Wednesday show. So if you just tuned in, we have a part 1 that is about 17 minutes long, and then we have this one, so part 2. Last little fact here. Under NBA rules, if a player is forced to retire due to a career-ending injury or illness, the team can apply to have the player's remaining salary excluded from the team's salary cap. With Embiid. Chris, we're wrapping up the show. We're going to do more here on Sunday. Can you hear us? You can hear us now.
Yeah, I can hear. I don't know what happened.
You can hear us? Okay, cool. Good show. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's actually get to some fan questions. And then I feel bad. We had a couple super chats.
Miss Hunter had shout out to DJ Trauma for his. I know he was basically saying that we went live while he's in class. So shout out to the students.
Shout out to Trauma, yeah.
But, and one thing Miss Hunter said that I thought was really interesting was the fact that they can't really build. They ain't like the Pelicans just selling out stadiums around this bitch. She proposed like maybe they could play in the Lakefront Arena in the time it takes for them to demo, because you got to blow the Smoothie King Arena up in time for them to demo and rebuild the arena. What do you think about that? Is it too small?
No, Lakefront can only fit like 5,000-6,000.
That's about the Pelicans.
Lakefront needs a lot of work too. Like that is the one thing.
They just need a roof, Justin.
They do just need a roof. Like that's just the one problem. Like the only place I could see them playing at would be the PMAC in Baton Rouge. That is the only place.
That's cool. Why not?
And I'll tell you what, I will say this. I bet you that they would sell out that place every single night.
Yeah. Then the Pelicans the Hornets of old do that a couple times. Miss Hunter says almost 9 G's.
For at the PMAC?
No, for Lakefront. Shout out to Booker Stat guys. 8,900. That's about what the Pelicans be doing.
Fun fact about the Lakefront: Larry Bird scored his career high at the Lakefront.
How crazy was? And then it was Celtics versus Hawks. Was it Celtics
versus the Hawks? They
just randomly played a game in New Orleans.
Not randomly, they used to have to put on games in the New Orleans market. They wanted to test, so the Hawks agreed to play a game. There was like a some guy that ran the books, I guess. They agreed to play a game in New Orleans, and it was just that one. And I know people that were at that game.
So they ain't like Will Chamberlain game.
Yeah, no, they seen it. They got video.
Yeah.
That's when the Hawks players got fined.
Yeah, laughing on the bench because Larry was going crazy. Yeah,
that's fucked up. Get y'all asses out of my town acting like that. Y'all crazy.
Big Swell had a question in part 1. Luke will be a free agent this summer. Could we get him? No. He'll be Lakers. Zilzil 100 Gorillas versus the intern.
PMAC on over 13,000.
Yeah, I'll tell you, PMAC would be actually like legit. Like
that would be perfect.
Now the only problem is there's not enough parking around the PMAC. I don't know where you.
It don't matter.
But I know it. Like you got.
But if you can park for,
you're right, 120,000 in Tiger Stadium. Like you're right. Yeah, you can figure that out. Bayou Sniper, y'all gonna be at the Summer League this July. Definitely, we've talked about it. I'm actually interested. If we get Cooper, I think we're all going to be up in Vegas. That'd be fun. Even if Harper, I'm not going to Vegas for Edgecombe.
Yeah, Justin gonna be in Reno.
No,
goddamn.
I'll just be at the fucking tables.
Reno with Edgecombe.
Guy from the 504. I doubt Milwaukee will tank if they don't get their picks back.
They got a choice.
I mean, they have no incentive to tank either. Denzel, call me crazy, but I have faith that Joe will have the wherewithal to do things that Griff never would.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but I mean, you can't be in a small market in an unattractive basketball market and be scary. You can't, like you can't be patient. I'm not saying you got to be too impulsive necessarily, but you can't sit back and watch things unfold or happen in front of you when you don't have the power to do some of the things some of the bigger markets are doing. The Pelicans couldn't have been, the Lakers and getting Luka the way that they did from Dallas. It's not gonna fall that way. So you have to be aggressive and you have to see things way down the line. It was just Griff lived day by day way too often.
Do y'all think team players view Joe Dumars in a negative light?
Wait, say it again.
As an executive,
What?
like, do you think the players, if they just, because they just going off reputation at this point, if they just like, oh man, that's the dude who had the Pistons, and then you got Weaver, like, oh, that's the dude who had the Pistons, and that team already trashed Willie Green. Oh, that's the dude who trashed. Everybody see he trash. Like, how y'all think players view those guys?
Gotcha.
I think Joe probably has a decent relationship. I mean, especially with his time at the league, right? You got CJ's word. I don't think they gonna be like, oh, this dude don't know what he's talking about, or nothing like that. He's probably a cool old dude once you get to know him, but probably one of those stern old men that you gotta earn his respect type shit. So
yeah, I'm actually interested in what Joe does. I think he'll be fine, but it depends on what ownership will allow him to do. And then appreciate you, Authentic. Get the 10 Boo Crew Media. Get a damn membership. Here it is, right there.
It's crazy, cool.
Also, someone said Birmingham. I don't say that.
That's too far. That's doing too much.
Yeah. So with the Superdome, the wealthy feel like I just don't think they can do it.
Season start around the same time.
Yeah, because like then you have to like the schedule already comes out. You have to figure out between the Saints and then all these concerts and the Sugar Bowl and all the other shit that the Superdome hosts. I just don't think they can do it. And I don't think it would make much sense. So like I think your only options, right, if you want a full renovation, would be the PMAC in Baton Rouge. You can't do UNO, you can't do Tulane, you can't do like Loyola, you can't do Xavier.
I think the Baton Rouge one is like the perfect option.
Yeah, that's the most ideal
like
one.
Yeah, I think you also like if you think about it, Jared, like you're also
expanding your reach.
Expanding your reach in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, come see the Pelicans. A full season. Like you get more fans in the state, and people from Lafayette drive in. I actually think that would be an interesting site. But then once again, LSU hosts gymnastics. They host women's basketball. They host men's basketball. They host a lot of different shit in that arena too. And then you have to deal with LSU football going into October, November, even until December. There's a lot of shit to think about.
Pelicans got poor people problems because damn, somebody had to accommodate somebody.
If there was any brand in Louisiana that could figure this out, it'd be LSU.
Yeah. Raising Cane Center, huh? I don't think
they got one.
Baton Rouge?
Yeah, it's in Baton Rouge. Yeah, it's right on the river. I don't know exactly what they host there, but I actually have
foreshadowing
concerts.
Right, a little nice concert. So, all right, appreciate y'all. Smash the like button. I know Lito and Chris have a couple of film breakdowns. Chaz has something out today as well, or yesterday about John Morant. Make sure you check that out. We'll be live.
That was a fire
Sunday
show.
night.
I just watched that show. That was fun.
Thank you.
A lot of good content going around right now. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, let you know we're going live. Appreciate everybody pulled up, all the comments, all the super chats. Once again, we have part 1 out and then part 2 as well. So we'll see y'all on Sunday night.
Peace.